afternoon, everyone. My name is Joe Tarrant, and welcome to Colonia High School for a boys volleyball match between the Dickinson Rams of Jersey City and the Colonia Patriots. Colonia Patriots come into this game with a record of 4-11, while the Rams come in with a a record of 2-11. Colonia is coached by Coach Drew Beery, and Jersey City Dickinson High School is coached by Coach Rialpi. We're just about ready to get underway. Tonight is senior night for Colonia, and they're going to honor the seniors. And the seniors that are playing on senior night, they're going to start, is Ronak Shaw. We've got Christian Pluta, Lewis Bryan, and Rushhav Shaw. Those are the seniors that are going to be starting for Colonia tonight. 4 years goes by really quick when you're in high school. It seems like you just walk in as a freshman, and next thing you know, it's graduation time in June. The officials are just straightening out the lineups. And the rest of the starting lineup for Colonia is number 5, Nick Filson, and also number 6, Derek Fells. The officials are straightening out the Dickinson lineup, make sure that everybody's in place. And Dickinson will serve first. Colonia receives, and we're just about underway. Colonia played Dickinson once already, and they beat them, so that's one of their 4 wins. And here we go. Point Dickinson. And that was a carry by number 5, Nick Filson. Ball goes over, backhanded. Big hit coming up. And Colonia gets it over. Here's the set. And that's out of bounds. A little bit too much muscle. The Rams for Dickinson High School have a starting lineup of Alvin Resurrection, Andrew Gibson, Omar Radwan, Michael Gonzalez, Mario Arambulo, and Brian Stevens. Nice block on the Colonia side, and it hits the ceiling. So that's point Dickinson. Dickinson takes their early lead 2-1. But when you've got records such as 2-11 and 4-11, either team can win this game. It's not like one team is more dominant than the other. Dickinson serving. Here's the set. And the hit from Dickinson. Oh, and nobody home. Nobody home. It's one of those that I've got it, you've got it, and nobody's got it. Angel Arroyo comes into the game for Dickinson. It's Jimmy Nunez serving for Colonia. Scores 3-2. Colonia up on top. And we're ready for the serve. And it's over the net. Almost hit the roof. Big hit, and that's out of bounds. Point Colonia. So it's 4-2, just a little bit too much muscle on that hit. And the ball's over the net. Nice dig. Big hit, it's out. Coming into the game, Mark Crespo for Dickinson, and number 10, Francis Vanagahaya. And we're ready for Dickinson's serve. Wow, punches the ball over. That was number 6 for Colonia, Derek Fells. And that ball is in. Oh, we got a score that's knotted up, 4-4. Still very early in the game, number 1. Remember, it's 2 out of 3. Scores to 25, and you have to win by 2 points. Point Colonia. Hit it 2 times on the Dickinson side. Not many spectators here tonight for it to be senior night. Coming in for Colonia is Tom Chula. He's a junior. Serving for Colonia is Tom. Gets it over. Dickinson just gets it over the net. And Colonia hits it in the backcourt where there wasn't anybody. Everybody was close to the net. Gotta space yourself out. 6-4, Colonia up on top. Tom Chula still serving for Colonia. Dickinson hits it, but it goes the wrong way. They get it over, though. Dickinson's got to get it over with this. They do. That's a nice dig by the Dickinson player. However, Dickinson player getting it over, hit it twice, so it's point Colonia, 7-4. That's a very good volley going on. Dickinson has been up to the task, and so is Colonia. Point Colonia, that ball was out. 7-4, Colonia up on top, and Tom Chula is still serving the ball. And here comes the hit from Dickinson. It's blocked, and it's out of bounds. Dickinson's been their own worst enemy by hitting the ball out of bounds and hitting it twice. It's 9-4, Colonia up on top. Chula's still serving. Point Dickinson. Colonia just couldn't seem to dig that one up off the floor. Coming in for the Rams is Smith Patel. Alvin Resurrection is going to be serving for Dickinson when we get underway. Officials are having a little conference. Maybe they saw something or someone out of order. Hey, well, the official's going to come over here and talk to the coach. They're telling the coach from Dickinson High School that they don't have enough chairs. So, and their players were sitting on the floor. So now the officials making the extra players that don't have chairs that were sitting on the floor move over to sit in the stands. Okay, let's get back to the action here. Alvin Resurrection is going to be serving for Dickinson. He's a senior. And the serve, and he gets it over. Unfortunately, Colonia hits it out of bounds, so that's point Dickinson, 9-6. Colonia up on top. Resurrection still serving for Dickinson, number 17. And the serve. A little bit too much muscle on that one. Colonia point. 10-6. Colonia up on top. Coming in for Colonia's number 4, Brian Gorsica. Going out is number 9, Ronak Shaw. Oh, Colonia just couldn't get it over the net. They tried to dig it out, and the ball went backwards, and they just couldn't get it over the net. Coming in for Dickinson is number 8, Ryan Stevens. No, the Colonia player, I believe that was Nick Wilson, hit it twice. So that's point Dickinson. 10-8, Colonia up on top. There's one hit by Colonia. And here's the third. Dickinson's looking for a big hit. Wow, that was a big hit. It's out of bounds. That was by Brian Stevens of Dickinson. Just a little bit too much muscle. That might be trouble, and it was. It was 2 hits on the player coming in for Colonia's number 8, Christian Pluta. Coming out of the game is Jimmy Nunez. Serving for Colonia, Nick Filson. 11-9, Colonia up on top. Point Colonia. Dickinson players hitting it twice. That's been another problem of theirs. Hitting it out of bounds and hitting the ball twice. Filson still serving for Colonia. Oh, number 10 for Dickinson. Tried to hit the ball, and instead of the ball going forward, the ball went backwards. So it's 13-9, Colonia up on top. Filson still serving. Here's one hit, and here's a hit. Point Colonia. Dickinson player went under the net. Scores 14-9, Colonia up on top. Dickinson coach calls a timeout. He's instructing his players, trying to get them regrouped. Colonia has a mini huddle going on. They seem confident here tonight. Seem to be playing their best game. But now Colonia huddles up, talking to Coach Bieri, who also, by the way, is the girls volleyball coach. So he does double duty. So volleyball is in his blood. This is Coach Bieri's first year, I believe, with the boys. I know he's been coaching the girls for a season or two. But he told me prior to the game that this was his first year with the boys. Okay, Colonia breaks their huddle, as you could probably hear. Okay, now the Rams of Dickinson High School also break their huddle. We're ready to go. Filson still serving for Colonia. Dickinson gets it over. Into the backcourt of Dickinson High School, setting up for a big hit. No hit. And the ball's over. Oh, we got a nice volley going on here. Let's see who blinks first. And then it's Dickinson who blinks first. Ball was out of bounds. 15-9, still anybody's game. I mean, I've seen teams run off 6, 8, 9 points at a time. Filson's is still serving for Colonia. And the ball hit the ceiling. So that's point Colonia. 16-9. Colonia up on top. Comes off the ceiling. And Dickinson, wow, that would be some play, but Dickinson can't come up with it. That was a good dig, but just didn't hit it the right way, although they dove on the floor for it. Dickinson players mad at himself. Point for Colonia. Filzen is still serving for Colonia. 18-9, Colonia up on top. Dickinson is doing them a favor by giving away all these points, and Brian Stevens went up for the big hit. He hit it into the net. 19-9. Here's the set. And Colonia does a soft touch over the net. Point Colonia. Hit it twice. 20-9, Colonia up on top. 5 more points and Colonia will take the first game. Dickinson went up for the big hit. Couldn't get it over the net. That was number 20, Mark Crespo. 21-9, Colonia up on top. And here's the set, and the ball's over. Oh, Colonia couldn't get to the net. So finally Dickinson got a point. Andrew Gibson comes into the game for the Rams. And the ball is served, and the ball goes right into the net. And that was Mark Crespo serving for Dickinson. Rambulo comes into the game for Dickinson. Number 1 for Colonia is Rashab Shaw. Point Dickinson. Just got it inside the line. We got Radwan coming in for Dickinson. A little confusion on the Dickinson side as to who's serving.
Dead ball, dead ball. They lost the round. We didn't serve it within 5 seconds.
And the official is straightening things out, gives the point to Colonia because the serve was improper. Ronak Shaw comes in and he'll be doing the serving for Colonia. 23-11, Colonia up on top. Point Colonia because Dickinson player went into the net when he hit the ball. That was Gibson for Dickinson that went into the net. That player tried to hit it with his chest. No good, and Colonia wins the first game of this match, 25-11. I'll be right back with some more action, so please stay tuned.
G morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. You up? What'd you dream about? Me? JK. Text me back. I'll keep texting till you wake up. Are your parents home later? Is it something I did? Exclamation point, question mark? This isn't a joke. Hello?
And welcome back to the second game of a boys volleyball match between the Dickinson High School Rams of Jersey City and the Colonia Patriots. Colonia took the first game 25-11. Remember, it's a best 2 out of 3. And you must win by 2 points. Score is 25, or I should say the game is 25. I have a clarification from one of the officials on the serve that Dickinson had that awarded a point to Colonia. There was some confusion as to who was going to serve the ball, and there's a 5-second rule that you must serve the ball within that 5 seconds, and he told me about 10 seconds had elapsed, and that's why they awarded the points for Colonia. Okay, Coach Bieri went with the same senior-dominated starting lineup of Shaw, Filzen, Fells, Bryan, Pluta, and Shaw. The officials are just making sure everybody's in the proper order. And the official gives the ball to Shaw of Colonia for the first serve. And we're underway. Point Colonia. Dickinson player was off his hand and went backwards. Shaw still serving for Colonia. Shaw hits it into the net, so it's tie game, 1-1. Still a long way to go in this game. Colonia is setting up their defense. And the serve. Fills and sets it. Point Dickinson, because it was a carry by Colonia. Dickinson serving 2-1. They're on top for the first time today.
Good choice, good choice.
And Colonia saves it. No. Colonia player number 8 went out of bounds when he saved it. That was Pluta. It was a nice save by him, but unfortunately out of bounds. So Dickinson's on top, 3-1. Dickinson just serves it into the net. Point Colonia. It's 3-2.
2 in for 8, Colonia.
Coming in is Nunez for Colonia. Pluta coming out. Nunez will serve. And here's the serve. Dickinson sets it. That might have went out of bounds if they had let a point for Dickinson. Colonia player hit it twice. Refs are calling this game tight. They're watching very carefully for carries, double hits, going into the net. They're really, really calling it tight, which they should. 1 point for Dickinson, so they're up 5-2. And again, as I said, that's the first time this afternoon that they've been on top at any point. Now they're up by 3. Big set for Colonia. Nice dig. And Dickinson hits the ball out of bounds.
Colonia over here, we have 8.
Shaw is coming out. Chula's going in. Chula will do the serving. Fourths for Colonia. Dickinson on top, 5-3. Just waiting for Chula to serve, and there it is. Point Colonia. Dickinson hit it out. 5-4. Colonia comes back a little bit. Now in that gap. Chula serves. Dickinson handles it. Gets it over the net. It was a tough angle. That ball was in, just squeaked into the corner, and that's Colonia's point. So now we're knotted up at 5. And the serve. Dickinson fighting. They want to take this game. So it'll be all even up. And have to go to a rubber game. Point Colonia. Dickinson couldn't get it over the net on the 3rd hit. And here's the set. It was a good hit by the Rams. It really was. It's one of the few times today that they had pulled that off. Okay, Dickinson serving. Colonia gets it over on the 1st hit. Point Dickinson. The Colonia player, number 7, Lewis Bryan, who carried the ball over the net. Actually, it's like a palm ball in basketball. Filson hit it twice. Called for the ball to go outside, and he hit it over. So Dickinson's on top, 8-6. They've been tough. thought Shaw should have never hit it. And the ball goes into the stands, so we got a replacement ball. Dickinson hits it over. I don't know. From where I was sitting, it looked like that ball might have been out, but I'm not on the line, so it's point Dickinson. 10-6, they're up. Colonia's got to get their act together here. Dickinson starting to play tough. Point Colonia. Coming in for Colonia is Gorsica. Going out is Shaw. Serving for Colonia is number 7, Lewis Bryan. A hard serve. Dickinson setting it. It's blocked by number 4 for Colonia. That was Gorsica. Some good play on this volley. Wow, another one that just snuck inside the line. Dickinson is up 11-7. Can't believe we've seen a different team here in Dickinson this game than we did in the first game. Case on Dickinson, like I always say, you got it, I got it, nobody got it.
8 for 2, Colonia.
Pluta's coming in for Colonia, and Jimmy Nunez is going out. Serving for Dickinson called the timeout. That was unexpected. Anyway, Colonia is behind. Score is 11-8. Filson will be serving for Colonia when we come back to action. The officials are looking over the lineup cards to make sure that everybody's where they're supposed to be. And that's very critical because as they rotate around, you've got to make sure that the right person is serving. As in volleyball, they rotate around the court and everybody gets a chance to serve. However, in some instances, they have specialty servers and they'll substitute. Dickinson is still in their huddle. And the Rams break their huddle. And we're ready to go. Filson getting ready to serve the ball, and here we go. Dickinson gets it over the net. Uh-oh. Well, Colonia got it over the net. I didn't think that they would. In the back court. It's set. Now, Dickinson tried to block it, but they couldn't. That was number 4, Gorsica for Colonia. Score now is 11-9. Dickinson up on top. Don't forget that Filson was the server last time that Colonia ran off about 8 or 9 points. It'd be nice to see them do it again. Derek Fells tried to hit the ball and set it up, but wasn't successful. So Dickinson will serve. They're on top, 12-9. Fells and sets it. Gorsica went up for the block. That was a tough one because it was in the net and they saved it. So point Colonia.
1 for 3, Colonia.
Coming in is Rashab Shaw. Serving for Colonia is Derek Fells. Point Colonia. Dickinson couldn't get it over the net now. Colonia's creeping back into this game. It's 12-11. There's the serve. He's a left-handed server. Never noticed that before on people serving. But I imagine there's plenty of them out there. I just never really noticed it. Wow. Dickinson wanted to go for the big hit. He hit it all right. He hit it out of bounds by about 20 feet. So we're knotted up at 12. Halfway through the game. Nice dig. Oh, Dickinson's got to get it over. From the backcourt. Okay, let's see who's going to blink first. Oh, and it's Colonia that blinks first. Hit the ceiling just a little bit. Colonia tried to play the rebound, but just couldn't do it. So Dickinson forges ahead by 1 point, 13-12. Stair serve. Colonia receives it. As I've been saying, Dickinson's playing a totally different game this second match. Colonia hits it out of bounds. 14-12. Dickinson has always maintained that 1 or 2 point lead. Remember, you have to win the game by 2 points. And Colonia is making the mistakes that Dickinson made in the first game. Coach Bieri calls a timeout. 15-12, we got Dickinson up on top. Coach is trying to straighten out the communication and the dumb mistakes that Colonia is making. Not really dumb, the technical mistakes. I mean, they were sharp as a knife in the first game. And in this game, they're making all the mistakes that Dickinson made. Hitting it out of bounds, hitting it twice, carrying it. And that was Dickinson's problem the first game. Nick Filson comes over and gets some clarification from the ref to make sure that he's doing everything correctly. And that's what you should do. If you're not sure of what you're doing or a rule, you know, ask the official. They'll be more than glad to tell you and straighten it out. Okay, we're just about ready to go. Dickinson serving. Colonia makes another error. 16-12, Dickinson up on top. The errors are just killing Colonia in the second game. Can't continue to make them. Here's the serve. Nice dig. Ball's out of bounds, and it's point Colonia. Gorsuch's coming out. Shaw going in.
9 for 4.
I'm sorry, that's Gorsuch coming out. Shaw going in. Shaw will be serving. And seems to be a little confusion. Oh, somebody on the Dickinson bench was bouncing a ball. And we didn't want the ball to get loose out on the court and anybody get hurt. That's a good serve, boy. Just cleared the net. Oh, and it's saved by Colonia. Wow, what play that was. What another great play by Colonia. Oh, Shaw tried to dig it, but he just couldn't dig it out. Went on the floor hard for that one. (17-13). Dickinson up on top. Off the ceiling again. Man, what a play.
2 for 8.
Jimmy Nunez comes in for Colonia. They got the point, so it's 17-14. Ball just made it over the net. And serve. Set. Okay, let's see who blinks. And it's Colonia. So it's 18-14. Dickinson up on top. Little adjustment being made there to the out of bounds pole that's on the net. Dickinson is serving. Oh, and that's out of bounds. Strong hit, but too bad it was out of bounds. Chula coming in.
3 for 1, Colonia.
Rashab Shaw coming out. Number 1 for Colonia. Chula serving for Colonia. Be nice to see him run off with good 3-4 points. There's one. There's one of the points Colonia needs. 18-16. Like to see Chula run off another 3 or so. Man, it was a nice dig by Jimmy Nunez, but Filson just couldn't control it, get it over the net. 19-16. Dickinson up on top. Still anybody's game this at this point. Out of bounds. Point Colonia. Corsica coming in. And number 9. Ronak Shaw coming out. Servant for Colonia is Brian. Oh, Filson tried to control the ball, but he hit it out of bounds. Point Dickinson, 20-17. Off the ceiling and over. And that ball was just snuck inside. 20-18. Dickinson up on top by 2.
8-2.
Going in is Pluta. Coming out Jimmy Nunez. Filson serving for Colonia. Nick gets it over the net. Oh, big hit by Dickinson. Brian just couldn't dig it out. 21-18. Dickinson up on top. Yeah, long volley again. Let's see who blinks. Point Dickinson. Colonia player hit it twice. 22-18. Dickinson 3 points away from taking the second game. Colonia can't get it over the net. There's a little confusion there in our communication. Colonia's point. There's a carry.
1 for 3.
Coming in is Rashab Shaw. Coming out, Tommy Chula. 23-19. Dickinson up on top. Serving for Colonia is Fells. Dickinson's got to get it back in here, and they do. Point Colonia. Player on Dickinson hit it twice. 23-20. Colonia is making a comeback. Nice block by Colonia. I believe that was Shaw. No. And the official says that it was hit 4 times. 24-20. And the officials just said it's not open for discussion. That Colonia did hit it 4 times. And we call a timeout. The captains go over and talk to the far end official and explain to him, to the players, exactly what happened. So both captains are getting the word. Colonia captains come back. They don't look too happy about it, but as the official said, it's not open for discussion.
Well, this is number 5. Red, yellow card, number 5. Right down. On sporting.
24-20. Dickinson up top. And this could be the game-winning point. And that's the game. Dickinson takes the second game in this match, 25-20, and we'll be heading for a rubber game, game number 3. Please stay tuned. We're going to take a short break right now, and we'll have more action for you in just a moment.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And welcome back to Colonia High School Gym. We're in the middle of a boys volleyball match between the Dickinson High School Rams of Jersey City and the Colonia Patriots. Patriots took the first game 25-11. Dickinson came back and took the second game 25-20. So now we're at the rubber game here. Whoever wins this game will win the contest. In the first game, Dickinson made all kinds of technical errors, and in the second game it seemed to pass on over to Colonia. Maybe it's the side of the net that causes it. Okay, starting for Colonia. It's going to be 9, Renat Shaw. Number 3, Tommy Chula. Number 6, Derek Fells. Number 7, Lewis Bryan. Number 4, Brian Gorsica. And number 5, Nick Filson. And we're going to be ready to go in just a moment here. The officials are straightening out the lineups, making sure that everything is in order. Just a little bit of housekeeping and paperwork to be done. And the official. The official is asking Coach Beery to get another volleyball just in case. Official again is straightening out the Dickinson lineup. I think they're just waiting for the second ball. And now he's straightening out the Colonia lineup. Okay, we're just about on the way. Renat Shaw for Colonia, senior. He'll be serving. And we're on the way. First point goes to Colonia. They break the ice. It was off to Dickinson's hand, player's hand, and out of bounds. Point Colonia. I'm sorry. Yes, it is point Colonia. Ball went out of bounds by Dickinson. And another point for Colonia. Immediately, Dickinson coach calls a timeout. He's furious at his players for making technical mistakes like they did in the first game. So Colonia is up on top, 3-zip. Dickinson coach imploring his team to play a tough, sharp game. You start making those mental mistakes in communication, it gets to be contagious and it spreads all over the place. Okay, we're ready to roll again. Shaw is going to be serving the ball. You can hear the Dickinson coach urging his team on. Both teams could use a win right now. Good save by Colonia. And it's 4-0 Colonia. So it looks like the Rams might be right back to playing the game that they played in the first game. There's a lot of communication on the Colonia side. That was a one-hit over off the net for Colonia. Nice dig. Oh, no, point Colonia. That was a carry. Nice serve. Ball's in. When the ball's out there like that, all you can do is you're helpless and you watch it fall in. So Dickinson is on the board and scores 5-1. They've got a good volley going on. And a good hit by number 7. That's Lewis Bryan. And that ball was out of bounds. So it's 6-2, Colonia up on top. No, that ball's out of bounds. 7-2, Colonia up on top. Serving for Colonia, Shula. No, he isn't. There seems to be a little confusion. Fells is going to serve. He better hurry up because the ref called 5 seconds already. Just gets it off. You only have 5 seconds to serve the ball, and the officials have been very lenient. Point Colonia. It's 8-2, Colonia up on top. Colonia is feeling very confident in this third game. And the serve. And Dickinson just can't get it over the net. Dickinson calls another timeout. It's 9-2. Coach Rialpi of Dickinson is trying to point out to his players exactly the technical mistakes that they're making. And hopefully he can get them on track, because if not, looks like Colonia might run away with this game. Colonia players seem very loose. The huddle's not that tight. They're getting ready to break it. And the Patriots out of their huddle. They're ready to go, and the Rams are out of their huddle. Again, this is a boys volleyball match between the Dickinson Rams of Jersey City and the Colonia Patriots. Dickinson came a long way for this game. in Jersey City at this time of the day, which was 4 o'clock. It was a long ride. No, point Dickinson. Shaw carried that. That was an obvious one. So it's now 9-3. Colonia up on top. Ready for the serve, and here we go. There's a big hit by Colonia. So it's Colonia's point. Coming in is Rashab Shaw. Coming out, I believe that was number 9, Ronak Shaw. Oh, well, I think that would have been in anyway. That's a nice hit from the backcourt. Yeah, that was a nice hit there for the Colonia, Derek Fells. He hit that one from the backcourt, and Dickinson couldn't handle it, and they knocked it out of bounds. So Lewis Bryant will be serving for Colonia. It's 11-3, Colonia up on top. Oh, and Bryant hits it into the net. Point Dickinson.
13 for 4.
I have the official standing right in front of me, so I can hear all the calls that are being made. That serve just gets over the net. Hits the top of it, but it counts. Point Colonia. Dickinson player went under the net. So it's 12-4. Serving for Colonia is Brian Gorsica. Oh, nice block by Colonia, and they were able to get it over the net. Out of bounds. 13-4. Colonia is starting to run away with this game. Brian Gorsica is still serving for Colonia. Nice block, got to get it over, and they did. It was off the ceiling. What a play by Colonia. Oh, and it falls in. That good play was made by Tommy Chula. I didn't think it had a prayer. That was a beautiful play. 14-4, Colonia up on top. Wow, talk about determination. Wow, another good one. Out of the net, hit it twice. Shula then hits it over. Okay, we got another long volley going. Let's see who blinks. I'm not sure whether that was Shaw that blocked it or Chula. Or it could have even been Nick Filson. There was a whole bunch of them over there. 15-4, Colonia up on top. Point Dickinson. Ball was hit out of bounds. So 15-5. 10-point lead. I should say 10-point lead for Colonia. Oh, that ball might have been going out of bounds. And Dickinson can't handle it coming off the net. Point Colonia. 16-5. Just as a reminder, my name is Joe Tarrant, and I'm bringing you all the action from Colonia High School between Dickinson High School of Jersey City and the Colonia Patriots. Point Colonia, 17-5. And it looks like Colonia's all but got this game wrapped up, unless something drastic happens. That's Filson serving for Colonia. block coming at me. But it was a good block. And the ball went out of bounds right in front of me here by Colonia. So it'll be Dickinson serve, score 17-6. Colonia up on top. Point Dickinson. It was hit out of bounds by Shaw. It's 17-7. Out of bounds. Dickinson slowly climbing back into this one, 17-8. Can't let them get any momentum. It's a game of mojo. Right now, Dickinson's got theirs working. And Dickinson hits the ball out of bounds. So that's point for Colonia. Coming out is Rashab Shaw. Coming in is Ronak Shaw. He'll be serving. 18-8, Colonia up on top. And Corsica couldn't handle that one. Went out of bounds. So Dickinson will wind up serving the ball. Point Dickinson. Point Colonia. It was off the Dickinson player. 19-9. Colonia closing in on the victory. Chula serving for Colonia and can't get it over the net. 19-10. Colonia up on top. Colonia had a good opportunity there to kind of ice this game, because once you get to 20, those 5 extra points go by quick. Point Colonia. Dickinson couldn't handle it. 20-10. Colonia up on top over the Dickinson Rams at Jersey City. That's Dickinson's point. Colonia couldn't handle that one. 20-11. Colonia still up on top. Yeah, it'll be Dickinson's serve. And we're back. Nice one. Colonia's kept their composure. Didn't lose it in the backcourt. Point Dickinson. Colonia player hit it twice. That's very easy to do in volleyball. 20-12. Colonia up on top. Dickinson staging just a minor comeback here. Ball's out of bounds. Point Dickinson. 20-13. Coach Beery calls a timeout. So it's timeout, Colonia. Dickinson's feeling very confident at this point, because they've rolled off now 4 straight points. And Colonia's got to get their game going here again. And I'm pretty sure that they will, because they're playing this game with much more concentration than they did in the second game. Second game, they looked like they were sleepwalking. Maybe they took Dickinson for granted. But in this third game, they brought their A game. So let's just see if Colonia can put it away. Okay, we're ready. 2013, Colonia up on top by 7. And serve. Oh, no, Colonia couldn't get it over. It was into the net, and when it came down, Colonia couldn't control it to get it over. 2014. This would be something if Dickinson came back and took this this game. Both teams now, they both want this game. It's going to be who makes the first mistake, and it's going to be Dickinson. Jimmy Nunez is coming in.
2 for 7, Colonia.
Lewis Bryan is going in.
1 for 9, Colonia.
Rashab Shaw coming in. Veronica Shaw. 21-14. Colonia up on top. And ball's out of bounds. So it's 22-14. Colonia within 3 points of taking this game. There was nobody in the middle for Dickinson, so it was a technicality point. So it's 23-14. That ball might have been out on the serve. That's on the other side of the court from me, so I can't tell exactly. Big hit. Oh, and it's out. I believe that hit was by Filson. So it's 23-15. Let's see if Dickinson can run off another 4 points like they did last time. And it's hit twice. 23-16. They've slowly let Dickinson creep into this game. And serve. No, point Dickinson. Coach Berry calls a timeout. 23-17. Colonia can't come up with those last 2 points. So that's 2 timeouts for both teams. So all timeouts now have been exhausted by both teams. You're only allowed 2 per game. Both teams took them. Dickinson's feeling pretty confident right now. Colonia needs 2 points, and they're coming awfully painfully. They want to get this game over with, and maybe too much, because they're losing their concentration just a little bit.
That's 2, Coach.
Okay, the official notifies the Colonia coach that they took their 2. And we're ready to roll. Boy, the gym got awfully quiet. Nice dig. Oh, Colonia. That was a nice dig by Chula. But I believe it was Derek Fells that couldn't get it over the net. So that's a point Dickinson, 23-18. Nice one by Colonia. Colonia looking for the point. Out of bounds. So Colonia finally gets that point. 24-18. Colonia, this is game point for them. This could be the game. No! Colonia went up for the block, couldn't do it. 24-19. Dickinson very much in this game. Off the ceiling. Filson puts it over. Colonia wants this 1 point just to put the game away. And they're looking for that 1 point to end it. Colonia's got to start talking. They don't want to lose this point. Wow, this is who's going to blink first here. Oh, Colonia just gets it over. Wow. Wow, there's been some fine play on this volley by both teams. Dug out again by the Colonia player. Oh, Colonia gives up the point. 24-20. Where Dickinson was behind by 10, 11 points, now all of a sudden they're within 4. They just won't go away. And they drop it in the corner. 24-21. Remember, you have to win this game by 2. This is the 3rd game of the match. Colonia won the first one. Dickinson won the second one. So this is for the marbles here. Okay, let's see again who blinks first. Last time it was Colonia. That ball is in. Wow, Dickinson has just roared back here. Coming in, Lewis Bryan. Nunez coming out. 24-22. I didn't think Dickinson had a chance in this game, but they've come roaring back. Boy, it would be a shame if Colonia gave this 3rd game away after having that big lead. And there's another point. Filson couldn't get it over. 24-23. 24-23. Colonia needs this point to get it over with. They let Dickinson back into this game. And there it is. There's the point that they needed. And Colonia takes the 3rd and deciding game. So Colonia wins the match 2 games out of 3. They took the first game 25-11. Dickinson took the second game 25-20. And Colonia took the 3rd game 25-23. So Colonia wins the match. My name is Joe Tarrant, and it's been my pleasure to bring you all the action this afternoon. I want to thank TV 35 for their absolutely fine coverage, and it'll be my pleasure to bring you action in the future. Good night, everyone.